Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Do Bonsai. I'm Scott Winard. I'm hoping that today isn't going to turn out to be a sad day, but potentially it's looking like being a sad day. I was in one of the greenhouses earlier on, and I looked across at this Chinese money plant, they call it, or the pancake plant, or the UFO plant. It's got all sorts of weird and wonderful names. And as I was looking at it, I thought all the top has died off. Now, it's probably been caught by a bit of frost, maybe it's got cold and it's all died off. So I thought, oh, I better take it in and do a bit of something to it. And as I bent down to pick it up, I just happened to look to one side and I saw the jade, my big jade. And I'll show you that in a minute. It's not in a good way. But a quick bit of work on this. I think we're going to do a bit of a chunk chop at this top end to allow it to carry on growing, and just take out some of the dead foliage. So I'll come in with some pruners and we'll just take that top off that's totally dead. In fact, might be as well just taking that a little bit further. I'm not sure there's any more dead bits coming off there. We'll just pull out the dead foliage. We've still got some good bits, so hopefully it will continue to grow. I don't know whether we're going to be able to bonsai this at all, but we'll certainly try something during its lifetime to try and get something from it. There's lots of suckers and babies down at the bottom, so even if all this top end has a bit of an issue, we'll be able to rescue it by growing some of the lower material. We'll just take a few bits off that aren't looking great. But I'm glad that it grabbed my attention, because the jade, you'll see in just a moment. I think actually that centre stem might have died all the way back, to be fair, so we'll leave it in to see whether it does anything, but I think we've probably lost that centre stem. And we'll just allow the rest of the tree to carry on growing. Now let's have a look at the jade. So here it is. I think you can just about see all of it in the shot there. And if I just rotate it around, you'll see, especially around this side, frost and cold has got to it, and all the new growth that was coming in has just died. It's just totally gone back. So we're going to have to do some severe pruning on this to bring it back to hopefully some live branching and trunks to give it a chance to carry on. So I'll just bring you in closer, and as you can see how all the energy has just been sucked out of it by it being frozen, being caught by the frost and the cold. Jades do not like getting cold or frosty. Try to keep them, you know, well above maybe 4 or 5 degrees, and I wouldn't even encourage going any lower than that. But I'm hoping that the trunks have still got plenty of energy in them. So what we'll do is we'll get on with pruning this right back and giving it a chance to carry on growing. So it's going to be quite severe because it's dead a long way back, so it's literally just chop and hope. This is all mush all the way down to here. We need to get that off. looks a bit mouldy up there. That's mouldy in the middle. That's all gone. You can see it's got the ring in the middle there. That's where the mould is going through the trunk. So yeah, I don't hold out much hope for this little fella. I think it's gone. So this trunk looks like it's just about had it. I'll take that back. Yeah, that's nice and green and fleshy in there. But this is all rotten to the middle. We'll just take it down to a node. We'll let that dry out if it can. We've got a branch that's dead inside. We'll carry on from up the top here. We're just going to have to be really ruthless and cut this back as far as we can, and hopefully we can cut out all the badness and it can continue to grow. All that's dead. I'll take that off to there. All this is dead. I'll take that off to there. That's gone. That's gone. If it does come back, we'll get a nice canopy from it, but it all depends how far it's gone through the vascular system of the tree. I mean, it's only fleshy, the jade, so there's every chance that it will recover, but there's every chance that we've lost it. There's still actually some really nice growth going on around the back, amazingly, so we'll leave that on for the strength that it might give the tree, and we'll just keep pulling these branches off to a point, and we will check in on the branching just to make sure that there's no rot inside. But this is really taking it back. I've never really stripped a jade like this. I've seen people do it, but I've never had the heart to attack a jade so severely. But in this case, it's for the goodness of the tree. You know, it's pretty definitely dead if we don't do anything. So we'll take it back quite a ways. It's not too bad, it's quite nice and fleshy in the middle of that, so a lot of this does stand a chance of surviving. We've got a branch out the back here that's died off, so we'll just take that away. There's some little suckers coming out the bottom, so there's a bit of something coming from there. I'm tempted to take that down a little bit further. We'll see how it dries out. It'll probably all, well, it will all shrivel up and die down to that node, and I just hope that it won't die past that node. The branching seems quite solid. You normally get a mushy feel to the parts where they've died off. But if it does come back, like I say, we'll have a fantastic canopy. But there's lots of crossing branches inside here anyway, which, you know, it was a house plant before we were thinking of doing anything with it, and it still is pretty much just a house plant. So it's not in the realms of bonsai of, you know, take out the crossing branches too much. We're quite happy just letting it grow and taking cuttings off it from time to time. But yeah, if we don't do this, the whole tree will just die all the way back. We'll just check the bottom, make sure that the trunks are nice and solid, and they are. So there's just a few little bits that have shriveled up, and I'll just take that one back and then just knock off some little bits off the back of here. And as I said, this tree's been in the walls quite a bit. Corona COVID hasn't been nice to this tree. When it all kicked off, it got covered in spider mites. There was white fluff all over it. So we treated it. We treated it with neem oil, a mixture of neem oil. Something I will never do again. I got recommended that for the jades it was one of the best treatments to do, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but straight after treating it and then clearing it off, the tree showed signs of declining back then. It really wasn't happy. It was looking like it was on its last legs, so we gave it a thorough cleaning again, and it, as you can see from this side, all the new growth, all the nice stuff came out of it, and it did well. But I mean, this tree's about 30-35 years old. It's got some nice big trunks to it, and I would be absolutely devastated if we were to lose this. But I'm hoping that there's enough energy in these trunks to put out some new growth, and through the spring and the summer we'll get it outside and give it every chance to recover and grow on. And if it does, we'll definitely, you know, check into the inside of the way that it's growing, because it is kind of all over, branches butting against other branches, and it's competing a lot with each other. But fingers crossed that the COVID jade pulls through. It's been neem oiled, cooked in the sun. It's been frozen in the winter, and hopefully she's hanging in there and she'll carry on. So thanks for joining me on what could be quite a sad day if we have to think back to this moment. Hopefully the old jade will pull through. But until next time, I'm Scott Winard, this is Let's Do Bonsai, and we'll see you on the next one.